Good day, everyone. I am Ed Mike Berera Bukog, and I will be your discussant for today. So, as you can see, I have here my PECHA KUCHA presentation. So, in this presentation, I will introduce to you two instructional design models that we will explore and scrutinize. So, the two models that we are going to talk about are first, the ADDIE model, and second, the Bloom's taxonomy. So, is everyone ready to learn some new knowledge for today? Well, I bet you are. So now, with no further ado, let's jump into our discussion. First, the ADDIE model. The ADDIE model was based on earlier instructional design model, the five-step approach, which had been developed by the US Air Force. The ADDIE model retained this five-step feature and included many sub-stages within each of the five broad phases. Due to the hierarchical structure of the steps, one had to complete the process in a linear fashion, completing one phase before starting the next. So the first is the analysis. The analysis phase can be considered as the goal-setting stage. It is also here that the program matches the level of skill and intelligence that each student and participant show. This is to ensure that what they already know won't be duplicated. At the same time, in this phase, the instructors will distinguish between what the students already know and what they should know after completing the course. So next, the second phase will be design. This stage determines all goals, tools to be used to gauge performance, various tests, subject matter analysis, planning, and resources. In addition, the approach in this stage should be systematic with a logical, orderly process of identification, development, and evaluation of planned strategies which target the attainment of the project's goals. Next will be the development phase. So the development stage starts the production and testing of the methodology being used in a project. In this stage, instructors and students make use of the data collected from the previous stages and use this information to create a program in which they plan to make. In other words, this is the stage in where all ideas will be put into action. So, the fourth stage is the implementation stage. It reflects the continuous modification of the program to make sure maximum efficiency and positive results are obtained. The key word for this stage is procedure, and since this stage gains much feedback both from the instructional design and participants alike, much can be learned and addressed in this area. And lastly, the final stage of the AD model is the evaluation. This is the stage in which the project is being subjected to meticulous final testing regarding the what, how, why, when of the things that were accomplished of the entire project. The main goal of this stage is to determine if the goals have been met and to establish what will be required moving forward in order to further the efficiency and success rate of the project. So now, let's proceed to Bloom's taxonomy. Bloom's taxonomy was created by Benjamin Bloom in 1956, published as a kind of classification of learning outcomes and objectives that have, in more than half century since, been used for everything from framing digital tasks and evaluating apps to writing questions and assessments. The table on the right shows each cognitive level from higher to lower order thinking. So first, let's talk about knowledge. Knowledge involves the recall of specifics and universals, the recall of methods and processes, or the recall of a pattern, structure, or setting. In other words, knowledge, it is the remembering of previously learned material, but all that is most required is the bringing to mind of the appropriate information. Next is the comprehension. When we say comprehension, this refers to a type of understanding or apprehension such that the individual knows what is being communicated and can make use of the material or idea being communicated without necessarily relating it to other material or seeing its fullest implications. Simply saying, it is a capability of a learner to decode what he or she have read. The third level will be the application. This refers to the use of abstraction in particular and concrete situations. This may include the application of such things as rules, methods, concepts, principles, laws, and theories. Learning outcomes in this area require a higher level of understanding than those of comprehension. The fourth level will be the analysis. It represents the breakdown of a communication into its constituent constituent elements or parts such that the relative hierarchy of ideas is made clear and or the relations between ideas expressed are made explicit. In addition, it also recognizes logical fallacies in reasoning. The fifth level of Bloom's taxonomy will be synthesis. Synthesis involves the putting together of elements and parts so as to form a whole. This may involve the production of a unique communication, a plan of operations, or a set of abstract relations. Learning outcomes in this area will be stress creative behaviors, with major emphasis on the formulation of new patterns and structures. And lastly, the final level will be evaluation. This engenders judgments about the value of material and methods for given purposes. These judgments are to be based on definite criteria. Learning outcomes in this area are highest in the cognitive hierarchy because they contain elements of all other categories, plus value judgments based on clearly defined criteria. Alright, so that would be all for my PECHA-KUCHA report about the AD model and the Bloom's taxonomy. So thank you so much for listening and have a nice day.